Chelsea Football Club, it looks like Christopher Nkunku has accepted personal terms with Bayern Munich. It's about time where they agree a fee now, and the number is crazy that Chelsea is asking for. However, Chelsea do want Matthias Tel, and we have got a lot of information saying Chelsea are willing to do a deal, but there's one hiccup, and the player doesn't want to come at this moment in time. Furthermore, Renato Veiga has decided to stay at Chelsea. After accepting personal terms to leave on a permanent, he now only wants to go on a loan and still be a Chelsea player. I've got the full story, it's not making sense. Furthermore, we have finally recalled Trevor Chalobah. I told you lot I did not believe this was going to happen. Well, guess what? It's happened. I still can't believe it. And Disasi was left out of the squad. I'm going to tell you why. And finally, Enzo Maresca comes out and talks about us dropping points in the last 5 games. And you know what? I think I'm narrowing down what's going on and why we aren't going to fix this unless Maresca makes some tweaks, because there's only 2 out of the 7 attackers pulling their weight at this moment in time. But this is going to be a jam-packed window. And for me, consistently delivering you guys the best content I can deliver in return, what do? You hit that like button. 1,000 likes on this video goes a massive way. It tells the algorithm, listen, Kavkas is doing a great job here. Help him out. Here we go, some more views. And more importantly, listen, we're 316 people away from 39,000. I'd really appreciate if you subscribe, because I deliver honest, cold, hard truth, facts on this channel. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Let's keep it stepping. So, Christopher Nkunku has agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich. Christopher Nkunku's Pini Zahavi, his agent, has been in contact with Bayern Munich. He has offered the service of his player to Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich are ready to acquire the services of the Frenchman. What has happened? We know that Nkunku has joined Chelsea from Leipzig. His reputation in Germany is top notch. Top tier, top. He scored a lot of goals. He was expressive on the ball. He was a vocal leader for Leipzig. And more importantly, I think he won the Golden Boot his final year there. So he has a pedigree that is going to translate back into the Bundesliga very easily. However, we've got a little problem now. And it's coming out from Plettigol that Nkunku has agreed the deal. He has agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich. But, and this is a big but, Fabrizio says Chelsea wants 70 million euros. Chelsea's valuation for the 70 million euros is hilarious. Chelsea said, look, Kavkas View is going to PSG from Napoli. Nkunku is no worse than him, so I want the exact same fee. Firstly, Kavkas has been playing regular football, right? Kavkas has been a footballer that has been playing for a team that's top of the league and is going to be leaving. Nkunku hasn't been playing. Nkunku has played, and I've got the number here, 390 minutes of Premier League football this year. Chelsea had the audacity, according to Fabrizio, to even say he's one of their top goal scorers. He's got most of the goals in the Conference League. And for me, that's funny, you know, that's very rich from Chelsea. You don't want the asset, but you're asking for 70 million euros. Listen, take 50 million euros and be grateful. But Chelsea are doing their luck. Let's see if what we sell him for. However, Chelsea Football Club need a fool. Look, whether you like it or not, if Nkunku goes, and a lot of us don't think he's cut out for the number 9 role, he doesn't suit it, and that's why he's going, not because he's a bad player. We all think Christo's a very good player, right? I haven't met anyone that says Christo's a bad player. I think Christo isn't the world-class player that everyone promised he's going to be, and Christo isn't the mobile, creative, and genuine player that everyone thought he was going to be, but in reality, he's still a tremendous finisher. If he plays in a system where he can link up with someone, he gets that little free roll, he's going to be amazing. But Chelsea will have to replace him with another 9. You can't go for the rest of the season with just Nicholas Jackson. So what is happening here? Chelsea have been looking at Matthias Tel. We have found out that Matthias Tel from Sami Mokbel will cost north of £40 million. That is expected. This is a young 19-year-old French prodigy. He is somebody that has been top of the metrics of all the data analysis charts. He is somebody that when he plays, he puts up good numbers, and he's got a repertoire of people ready to advocate for him, saying, this guy is amazing. People are saying this is the next Cole Palmer, where Bayern are holding him back because they've got such good talent around him. He's just ready for the platform to explode. Furthermore, what's happened? Chelsea inquired in the summer. According to David Ornstein, Chelsea acquired last summer, and Chelsea now are willing to inquire again to see if the player would be willing to move. Matt Law said there have been some discussions, nothing to do with a swap, more so is Tell available? So now we've got Fabrizio, Matthew Law, and Ornstein all coming out with very similar stories, saying Chelsea are interested. However, Fabrizio later came out with more information, and this is why I didn't make the video straight away. When a news this big breaks, you need to wait for the full story to come out before you come and tell you guys straight away. What has happened? Matthias Tell spoke to Vincent Kompany 10 days ago, according to Fabrizio Romano, and the discussion was, look, I want to play more, but I'm willing to stay at Bayern Munich. I want to make it here. Fabrice Hawkins came out and said Tell is interested in a loan, does not want to leave Bayern Munich on a permanent. This for me breaks down the deal, right? So what can you do? There are two options. You move on from the candidate, or you take him on loan, you make him fall in love with a culture where he is, that when he goes back to Bayern, it's like, if I ain't playing now, then sell me back to Chelsea. And the reality is, this is where it gets very interesting. What Chelsea want to do, what Tell wants to do, and what Bayern Munich want to do. This is a player that if we get, it's interesting because I haven't watched too much of him. I can't sit here and give you a detailed breakdown analysis, but what I have seen of him is, he's a player that can play in the 9, and everyone's saying long term he's going to be a striker. But he plays on the left-hand side. I have seen people compare him to Rashford, Mbappe, and Wahi. They're saying he is a good, strong, powerful runner, great ball striking ability, great knack for goal, very agile winger. That is an interesting player to get into the team because we are lacking goals in this team. So the reality is, whilst we need to go get another striker, if we get a striker that scores and contributes from the wing, and that will enable us to almost compensate for the lack of numbers that Jackson's putting up from the number 9 role. But it's an interesting one. Let me know, would you want Matthias Tell at Chelsea? Yes or no? So we got breaking news today, and the breaking news that came out from Ornstein once again was Chelsea recalled Trevor Chalobah. And Chelsea recalling Trevor Chalobah is an interesting one because, number one, reports are coming out that Chelsea recalled Trevor Chalobah, and from Nazir Kinsella and other people that Igbali was the individual that rang him with Paul Winstanley, and they both convinced the player to come back from Crystal Palace and that he's going to have a pivotal role in the team. Firstly, if he's going to have a pivotal role, why did you send him out on loan? This is what I don't understand, right? They got him into such a corner where they didn't let him play with the team. They told him he has no future at the club. They didn't let him go on the tour. They basically did everything they could to ensure that this player would never play for Chelsea. They couldn't sell him. Now we're desperate, we go get him. Firstly, I said this a couple of videos ago. If we sign a striker, if we go recall Andre Santos and Chalobah, it's a good window. For me, it's from a personal standpoint, right? I don't like the way Trev got treated. And not because he was put in the bomb squad. What I don't like is, if you don't mess with me, and you make it clear you don't mess with me, when you need a favor, don't come running to me. And you know what? Trev is an ultimate professional because Trev is going to come back, work his backside off playing for Chelsea Football Club, doing really well, full well knowing that in the summer, they're going to sell him again. The only positive that comes for Trev with this is, number one, he continues to play to Chelsea, and that will elevate his platform. Because more people watch Chelsea than Crystal Palace, more clubs are going to take his performances more seriously at a top club than at a Crystal Palace, no disrespect. So Champions League clubs will be watching him more. And secondly, if he somehow plays so well that fans' uprising becomes so big that Maresca says, yo, I want to keep this guy, he's a starter, he could stay. Do I see that happening? Under no circumstances. However, a player that got left out of the squad and basically is being forced out the club is Axel Disasi. Disasi didn't even make the bench yesterday. Fabrizio Romano came out with like a warning, I think it was 24 hours before the game, and said, yeah, Disasi will not be in the squad because Chelsea believe they need to sort out a move for him. They do not want to risk injury, and Disasi's going to be exiting. All we keep hearing about the clubs that want Disasi is big admirers from Europe. Big clubs. We're not hearing no names. And the reason we're not hearing no names is because there aren't the big names that want him. The clubs that want him, he most probably doesn't want them. So we're stuck in a predicament here as well. Disasi will have to go. We have too many centre-halves now. We genuinely have too many. Toussaint, Badiashile is back at the start of February. Colwell, Josh, Anselmino, Trevor. Like, it's too many. And Disasi. It's just way too many people, man. We need to clean up our team a bit. I think we've got too many pieces that aren't good enough to do the job, and it's clogging up the team. A lot of you owe me an apology. And the reason why a lot of you owe me an apology is because I told you about this Renato Veiga guy, right? I told you about every single, piece of him is playing the system. And why? Renato Veiga joined Chelsea. Renato Veiga got 6 months of football at Chelsea. Renato Veiga got international caps from Chelsea. Renato Veiga got exposure from Chelsea. Then his agent tried to play the field. They agreed personal terms with Dortmund. He basically publicly handed in a transfer request by accepting those terms, and it leaks. He didn't have to handwrite it, stop his salary from coming in, because that's what happens when you hand in a transfer request. You don't get paid salary anymore. You're asking to leave. He never did that. But the news broke that he agreed and asked to leave verbally. Meaning, this is where it gets interesting. Now he's done a complete U-turn, and I wonder why. Because Dortmund don't want to pay the £29 million that Chelsea have been asking for. Broski, they never wanted you like you wanted them. And this is a problem now for you, because now the narrative switched completely from Fabrizio saying he only wants a short-term loan for 6 months, his long-term plans to make it at Chelsea. Well, big man, what if we don't want you? What if we don't think you're good enough anymore? And for me, I've said this from day one, and my energy needs been consistent. He's a steady Eddie. He is somebody that could do a job at left back, do a job at left centre back, do a job in midfield. I am not trusting him for big games. I do not feel comfortable when Nkunku AGREES gets injured and Renato Veiga will play. Renato Veiga is the type of player where you can get away with playing him 1, 2, 3 games. If I see him for 5, 6, 7 games, that's an issue. I need to get away with the minutes you play. It's a common theme in the NBA. You know them ones where you put some of the bench players with the starters. You want to get away with those minutes until the full cast come back. It's the same thing with Renato Veiga. He wanted to leave. Now he can't leave. Now he wants to say he loves Chelsea. You ain't Chelsea. I'm sorry, mate. If an offer comes in for him in the summer or this window, accept it. £25 million, double our money, he can leave. I don't think he's worth the hassle. I don't think he's worth the effort. And I genuinely don't think he's worth the U-turn and the public embarrassment of, oh, I've accepted terms. Oh, I'm leaving. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. So now a lot of people have got really upset with Enzo Maresca. Because Enzo Maresca came out yesterday and said, look, we're not scoring goals, but we're creating chances. Meaning, the problem is when you're not scoring goals and you're not creating chances. We have like 50 shots. We need to be a little bit more lucky. For me, that's partially correct, and I actually agree with him. I think the last 5 games, we aren't scoring the goals, but we are creating a heck of a lot of chances. Like the quality of chances, I'm telling you, we're going to go on a little run where we whip some teams, because Jackson is going to go on a crazy run where his luck flips. He went through a stage like this last season, where they weren't scoring, and then towards the end of the season, he started scoring again, and the numbers started adding up, and everything started looking better. All right, so I'm not saying Jackson's going to be amazing, but I've got some numbers that I think are very interesting to listen to, and I want people to look at it, because for me, there are 2 questions that we need to answer. Number 1, are we doing better than we were doing under Poch? And number 2, are our forwards all pulling their weight? The first one is simple. We are definitely doing better. And the numbers suggest this, right? In the league, we are 6 points ahead of where we were last season. We've scored 6 more goals. We've conceded 6 less goals. After 21 games, that puts us in a tremendous position. So I can't sit here and tell you now, oh, we're not doing well. This is bad. We should have never sacked Poch. And this is what I'm getting in on Twitter. People messaging me. This is what I'm getting in the comment section. Like, we made a mistake. I don't think we made a mistake. I'm giving you the numbers. On the eye test, we look better. We look more composed. We are running games more. Our problem is we're not scoring enough. Even though we scored 6 more goals, we need to stop conceding as much as we do and start scoring more. 26 goals in 21 games is poor. 4 clean sheets to date is poor. We need to keep more clean sheets, and we need our forwards to score more. However, now we need to look at the numbers. And the numbers is where everything gets broken down, right? You got Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer's got 14 goals in 21 games. Nicholas Jackson has got 9 in 21. Oh, in 20, sorry. He's played, Jackson's played 1,550 minutes roughly, and Palmer's played 1,900 nearly. Those 2, in my opinion, are pulling their weight. 14 goals and 9 goals. You can't ask for more. Across the season, Palmer's expected to end somewhere around about 23. Jackson will end up with somewhere around about 18, 19. That's what we're going to project, right? Roughly. The problem is, Felix and Nkunku have scored 2 goals for Nkunku, 1 goal for Felix. Felix has played 350 minutes nearly in the Premier League. 350 minutes. That is less than 4 games. Nkunku's played 390 minutes. Just over 4 games. You can't count on them. You can't spread 390 minutes across 18 games and say, you know what, he's not good enough, he's not good enough. So Felix and Nkunku can't be in the consideration of not performing because they're not getting the opportunities. The 3 that, in my opinion, are underperforming: Noni Madueke, Jadon Sancho, Pedro Neto. And I love Pedro Neto. I wanted Pedro Neto at the club. Noni Madueke's got 5 goals in 19 games. 5 and 19 is good if you're spreading them out. 5 and 19 is poor when 3 of them come in 1 game. He's played over 1,200 minutes. Sancho's got 2 goals in 14 games, nearly 1,000 minutes. Neto's got 1 in 18, nearly 1,000 minutes. What does this tell you? It tells me we are asking for too much from Jackson and Palmer in terms of numbers. If Jackson starts delivering numbers like Palmer, and they're both, putting up 20 goals each, you can carry the wingers. You can carry Neto and Sancho. You can carry Noni. The problem is you can't when Jackson's only getting 9. So either you replace Jackson with somebody that gets more goals, or one of these wingers needs to step up from now till the end of the season. For me, the solution's simple. Joao Felix comes in on the left wing and you play a defensive-minded winger. Somebody like a Noni Madueke, somebody like a Jadon Sancho, somebody like a Pedro Neto who create more rather than go and score goals. Palmer, Felix and Jackson will get you goals. Even then, go and put Nkunku on the left wing if you have to. Somebody that can go and contribute. But for me, Nkunku's going to leave. We already can see that he's going to leave. He's agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich. He is not going to stick around when Bayern Munich want him. But it is what it is, guys. This was the Chelsea's latest transfer news. So what I need from all of you now is, over here, I made a video for you guys reacting to the game yesterday. A lot of people were a lot more negative than I was. I think I was actually very positive after a 2-2 draw. Go check it out. Let me know your thoughts. And I was very honest as per usual. So peace out. I'm out. Hit the like button. 316 until 39k. Make sure you subscribe.